Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to pretty much be doing an overview of the trades that were sent out on the actual price track trading chat. Little thing I got going on. We'll review everything that was sent. So these 9 trades in price trap, which I all have the links to here, followed by this one, and these last 2 as well. So I'm gonna be reviewing all of that. And really dive into what it takes again to use the Harmonic scanner and draw up zones, because I know a lot of people have been asking up zones. Where do I put my zones? Where do I draw on the charts? Where do I put my lines? And train my eye to be better to view these actual zones. Not second guess or question yourself about it, because once you've set a zone in place, you have to go with it, as long as it's from a wick to a body of a candle. It's really about the region. It's about the way that it's been played off of before, and knowing where the trends are, knowing where the trend stops. Waiting for shift in momentum is basically the whole reason of why we're here, to capture the whole entire move and to duplicate what's known as a purple box. That's all we're trying to do as traders. Duplicate this purple box that you see on the screen right here. If I can duplicate making all of these movements in my favor, and that's 130 movements in my favor, which I will be compensated for because of the fact that it's a currency exchange, and you've essentially placed a contract on whether or not that currency value was going to go increase or decrease. In this case, it decreased 130 points. After the rules were followed, you could have gained all of these points in your favor and just put it right back into your brokerage account. Now, immediately when it goes up, you would be taken out of the trade, because as it says in the rules, on the second order, you trail your stop profit. Trail your stop profit. So basically a stop profit would have been like here, plus you moved it in 2 pips of profit, and then you moved it, and then it's just following structure from that point. So as price continues down, move it to the top, and as it moves down again and makes a new ceiling, you move it to above that ceiling as well. So now you're capitalizing on every single portion. And then when price finally moved all the way up here, started to move again, I would have moved it down here too, just above this wick, just above this here. Because if we continue on, I just move it to this now, but instead it chose to go back up, and that's where you would have hit your stop profit and then caught a total of 84 pips on a second order, 30 from the first and 84 potential for the next if you were trailing, and a total potential I'll leave these purple boxes in every single one of these. It was Euro USD. Trapped it up here. Let me go and look at the chart. We can see if we go on a lower time frame, like this is basically what it looks like. Let's get that out of the way. This is like what it looks like over here in a nutshell. Kind of like that. So price eventually shifted, did a break and a retest of the downside. Pips. Yeah, because it went 10 to 15 pips and we would have got taken out at 2 pips. And then previous ceiling, and again off that previous floor, I would leave these zones the way that they were. I saw price move up and did not do a retest, continued to huge shift in momentum to the downside. Now, if you kept your zones in place, there would have been no trade taken on this side. But when we saw price come back over here and hit that previous floor as well, we knew that if we saw a break and a retest, we could catch the entire move to the downside. And then a potential of, 30 guaranteed on the first order, bill 130, or just 100 potential, yeah, roughly. And again, we see one UJ. Go look at the chart. Go to the lower time frame to see how everything played. Break, come back up, hit a retest point on, never actually go back into the zone. So again, to break this trade down authentically, there was a break. It came back up to retest, did not actually do it. If we measure out, and again, this is for more advanced trading, but if we draw Fibonacci, we see that there was movement off the 78.6, which is a key area. Let's say we measure it from that low to that high over here. Yeah, 61.8. So 2 levels of confirmation. So even if you did take open over again, you see it. Euro US start. This is still in that position as it was over here. There were moves caught. And if you took this, would have left you in 240 back in these previous zones. So I drew this up because this is the true, like the areas of where we're looking for the trade now. It's the updated version. But on this the harmonic scanner, and like it's still pattern. So yeah, I guess we can add a circle, a purple box in here. Next, GN. See what it looks like. So these two levels, go and look at it. Yeah. Previously reviewed this one. So when you look at this, you see price break, price to retest, and the entry. And then a huge move to the upside, which is what the scanner called it for. It's like when people ask me if price chart doesn't work or that's a weird strategy or anything like that, maybe it's just not for you, but I think 427 pips is for me. It's easy to duplicate. But yeah, that's what I saw in this one. And I love going on a littler, smaller time frames, actually see and break it down. So nice to see everything play out. Broke through of the ceiling, broke out, came back, and it did the retest. Got all the way up, but great if entered from the central or even after that close. Yeah, we take 410 to 15. Pretty sweet. All from just a picture and some lines. Next. So this is what it looked like before. This is what it looks like after. It's kind of a lot of pandemonium, a lot of chaos. But overall, when it was called on the scanner, there was multiple entries. So it's clearly showing that here. It's just looking like a huge move, then a retest back on this level. So again there. But there was no clear retest over here for this part. I couldn't even count that. This would have been a potential box at like pips and a potential 43, 42. It goes back up and either hits your 2 pip stop profit, or if you were trailing on the 15-minute, you can see where price would go and you can end. And we're just still seeing how high this one could go. And then now eventually is testing these same areas, looking to fill that purple box again after having already collected these two. So it's neat to see how like there's multiple trades that form even after one harmonic scan is given, and even after you've trapped price once, and the same zones are becoming relevant in the future. just because of a trade that was called out over here. You can see all this movement playing out, and then still see the same zones retested almost perfectly. It's brilliant. Next is this one, Euro GBP. So again, multiple trades on this one. There was one here, 30 pips, and that was like our primary. It would have came back and hit your stop profit. We could have adjusted from here, and we could potentially be seeing another downside move. But again, the scanner called this out for a buy, and we were looking to see like a pretty huge move to the upside. Let's see if I go to the 4 hour. Like this was basically called out on the scanner. Like this was the pattern right here. And if this trade does eventually end up moving, it could be upwards of 700 pips to go back to this previous high. So something to watch out for. We did still capture the 30 pips that we needed because of movements. And I could even captured your 30 and had your 2. Was that zone for a second time and does another, it, creates another floor, breaks and does a retest. That could have been another entry as well. Then it looked like price just eventually came back up and took you out of the 2 pips. But 2 pips is 2 pips, guys. It's a win regardless. If you're catching these trades off the break and the retest, it's a win. You can't always predict where the market's going to go. Clearly it is. A few of these other charts I'm going to pull up. But the reason why we're understanding this and why these things play out the way that they do is because the market's unpredictable. That's why we always choose to react after these moves are responded to. We choose to respond after these moves, these reactions happen and are taking place. So as soon as we see this come back into the zone and then these 2 candles are forming, it's clear indication to us that we should short. Wonderfully explained. USD, CAD. Have it already marked up on here for less confusion. This one's one of my favorites because this is like the ultimate break and retest. Delete that, but you see closing above on the 5 minute, pushing back in towards that zone. Imagine having this as your screen. Oh, it's not gonna work. Trying to show you how it would look on a cellular device, but I guess it just won't work that way. That entry. $200 plus. Last one, or last two. Yeah. And last but not least, NZD cat. We have our stop profit hit. So what I like to do is just kind of keep these on here to, reflect on for all the reviews. So that way we're staying up to date with everything that's going on. And again, this was mostly about duplicating this purple box, being able to actually understand when a break or retest happens, clicking buy or sell on our smartphone technology, and creating revenue, profiting heavily. I haven't said this in a while, but past results do not indicate future results. Results are not typical. It does require a lot of hard work, dedication, passion, time, energy to learn. And I'm always learning, right? I'm a student to this strategy, and I'm a student to trading. And most importantly, a student to life. When I get on here and expel as much energy as I possibly can, it's an indication that anything that we want is actually achievable. Because you never have to know, when something's gonna happen. You just have to know that it's going to happen. That's a bit of a nugget. We can kind of look on the new scanner too, or let's see, did we hit every one of them? Yeah, we hit these ones now. It was I think we didn't hit euro odd yet, did we? What was that one? What did the chart look like? Okay. And what happened to the trade? I think there and there. Yeah, it was a move. Looks like it did do a break and retest. You would have been taken out, or if you took the entry here, 234 potential, and then we're pretty much back to where we started. We'll keep this in place. We have this one too. Called out those EJ and CADJ. Yeah, this was EJ. I went over it briefly. Instead of a purple box, yeah, there it is. And CAD JPY. Yeah, this one too. Perfect. So now that everything is here, it's all documented, all recorded. And basically start to look at other trades. Let's see. There was a H1 back called out for the British pound to the Canadian dollar, and I really like this one because somewhat of a similar situation. We're just waiting on this to see a break of this level or this level. This is going to be one of those high probability trade setups. I know they're pretty big zones, but I just would want to have like a sure, because again, like it's because of the choppiness factor over here. This is like the most clear ceiling. This is the most clear floor. It's been tested here, here, and here. So that would be the price trap, and now we're just waiting for either one of these two things to happen as per usual. That's it. Price to break below, come back into this level, and then that's when I take my entry. Boom. Or again, on the flip side, I'm waiting for price to move up a ball all the way above this previous high, this previous ceiling, break above it, come back into this zone, and take off. It's the same thing every single time. It'll never change. It will only adapt. And the rules, what else? Yeah, so because this is called out on the 1 hour, because it was called out on the 4 hour, that's a high probability, super high probability trade setup. Euro NZD, we already have that one. SD, have that one. This one I have it. We pretty much have the rest of these. Nothing really new on the scanner. And it being a Thursday, not really looking at any other movements. We'll start fresh on Sunday next week, after the weekend. And I'll get back to it. I guess in the meantime, I can mark up some of these other charts that we haven't looked at, just to give everyone an idea of like I go on the 1 hour time frame, I'll go to the first one. I'll pretty much see that there's a huge all that indecision. What we basically do is we would grab our line tool and go to the very tip top. Highest, and that would be considered a ceiling. Okay, for the next one, I would look at this level right here. This is the most previous lowest level of a floor. I could do it over here. Here you would have from that wick to the body the candle right here, and that's basically your barrier. Like, you notice how the zones are clean, even, and neat. Nothing's stupid. Visual representation of what the zone, what the vicinity would actually be. Things, floor, and then what are we drawing right now? We're drawing block. So simple. And everything. This is the lowest level of the floor. I truly hope the music isn't too overpowering. This is and again, you could go up in here because and you can see in the past, floor, breaks the floor, comes back up, tests as a ceiling. So why would I be looking for a buy position unless it breaks this ceiling and retests it and then shows movement towards the upside? That's the only way I would buy it. And then because this is the floor, if we do, for example, see price move this way, it needs to break and then go back into the zone. And then that's where we execute the trade. After we see a close of a candle going towards the downside, nothing. We're just waiting for a reaction of either of these two levels. So I'll do a But what we could do is this. Approach. Body the candle right there. Here to here. From here to here. That's basic. Sometimes I just leave it with it's just something about the look of clean charts to me that is so appealing. It's like a why we are or why I'm trading in the first place. moves, not the tracements. Yeah, I think we're asking like best to you in your opinion. Although and wait to see how price reacts. Five minutes left on this 15-minute candle. What if I go down to the 5-minute?